in the 80s, when charges were brought on Dr. Sebi, he was arrested and imprisoned. While he had to build the case for himself with no counsel, correct?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly were they alleging that he done to break the law?
Yeah, well, those 2 counts of practicing medicine without a license is what they were pushing.
And why? Like what? Like so he put out an ad in the paper, and
Right.
then came the charges.
Yeah, that he was blatantly practicing unlawful medicine, and that he was using false information to fool the public into thinking that he was a doctor, because remember, Dr. Sebi was a name that was given to him, and he kept it, and he wasn't running from it. He raised us with something that was important, and that's courage.
That's right.
And so he walked in it. And so with that being said, you could not tell him that it was not the truth, because it healed him first and then it healed others. So at that time when that was going on, it was such a frenzy for New York, because New York State, the Supreme Court was on him to do the right thing and to say that this is what he was doing and to jail him. But that wasn't the case.
Right.
And that was what their case was built on.
How did he prove himself innocent?
Wow.
Well, the beautiful thing was he didn't come alone. He didn't have a whole bunch of lawyers in back of him. He didn't have a lot of money, but what he had was knowledge. And he had his clientele who had, just like my nephew's talking about, who had those positive results with their health. They had results that they brought in from their doctors,
Right.
from the doctors that they accused him of being a doctor and or not a doctor, a scam and practicing medicine. Well, their particular doctors gave them their results, the clients that came in, and they were negative. When they came in with both positive and negative results, and showed that their life had been altered in a positive way, and that they were undetected in ways, and that they no longer had the particular diseases that they went to their doctors for with the help of Dr. Sebi.
And he was acquitted of all charges.
All
All
charges.
charges.
Walked away, gathered all of us together, and talked about the truth, about life, and walking in the truth. And because of that, we're here today.
That's amazing. Now, cut to in 2016 in Honduras, he was arrested and charged for money laundering. What was the basis of those allegations?
Well, my grandfather for years and years, always walked around with a lot of money, because in certain countries, when we gather in these herbs and there's a village who have something that we need, he's going to bless them with cash. You can't swipe a credit card, or there's no Cash Apps or Venmo.
Right.
So for years and years, that's something that he did. So, in 2016, when they locked him up, they found $50,000 on him. My grandfather never wanted to embezzle money. He's a healer.
Right.
So they locked him up, and in Honduras, the prison is horrific. It's a very, horrific place. So over there, it's different. An 80-year-old man in a prison, and he's going to county jail at 80 years old, he can die there.
Right.
So an 80-year-old man going to prison died. My grandfather died in a prison. And the government didn't kill him. It wasn't any foul play. He died in a prison because he didn't want to comply to eating the food and drinking the water because of his lifestyle. You have a man that eat a certain way, take his herbs and live this way, then you go to jail. You taking him out of his element, then what would you do?
Yeah, basically, so his loyalty to his diet and his lifestyle, and him not being able to maintain that within the environment and the conditions of the prison, is what caused his untimely demise.
Yes, sir.
I mean, now there was a documentary in production that Nip told me about personally, and he also shared it with the world. Is that documentary still in production?
Yes, the documentary is still in production. It'll be coming out very soon.
Oh, awesome.
And Nick Cannon and the Bowman family is still working on that as we speak.
Okay. I think it's important for the generation to know not only who Dr. Sebi was, but what he was able to do to help others, and how so many people higher up didn't want him to do it. Like that, like when you say courage, okay, if you live in the ghetto, all right, and you got a drug dealer in your neighborhood, the drug dealer usually gonna, you know what I'm saying, control all the comings and goings and the doings and not doings. If you cross that drug dealer, it's gonna be a pretty tough time for you in the neighborhood.
Right.
That drug dealer probably worth maybe, you know, 100,000, 200,000, if he's lucky, maybe $1 million. Okay, so imagine if the drug dealer was worth 50, 60 billion. Okay, so if the drug dealer worth 50, 60 billion and you cutting in on his profits, imagine how dangerous that would be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's the context that we have to consider the bravery of Dr. Sebi. I mean, what are the challenges that you've encountered on your journey after he's passed? What are the things that you're trying to accomplish that you feel like doors are being slammed and obstacles are being put in front of you?
Well, you have to understand something. The fact that my grandfather never been nominated for a Nobel's Peace Prize. We never been nominated at any award show. And my grandfather have worked with every celebrity just about and healed so many. And the only person that really had a heart to talk about my grandfather was Lisa Left Eye Lopez. And everyone else has just been silent.